Problems will give you a p-hat and a q-hat, or even a way to find a p-hat and q-hat. Most will, though. However, if they don't, it's because they're assuming that the probabilities for p-hat and q-hat are the same, meaning that they are 50-50. So if you know that you need a p-hat and a q-hat and they're not telling you one, you're going to have to use 50-50. So continuing along, let's take a look at an example. In a study of 1,228 randomly selected medical lawsuits, it is found that 856 of them were later dropped or dismissed. Construct a 99% confidence interval estimate of the proportion of medical lawsuits. So we'd start off with, we know we're going to be doing a confidence interval for a proportion. That's what's going to tell us that we're going to be doing a 1 prop z int, and the int means confidence interval, and the prop stands for proportion. And this is how we're going to do it in our calculator first. So remember, the calculator is first going to need an x, an n, and a C level, and then after that it will ask you to go ahead and calculate. So in order to get the x and the n, we need to get our p-hat straightened out, which is in the problem already. Remember, that's our probability of success, which in this case, success is getting it dropped or dismissed, your lawsuit that is, which is the 856 out of the 1,228. And so the x is always the top number, the 856, and the bottom number is your n, your total, your 1,228. And then your confidence level is given here in your problem. That was your 99%. Remember, we have to input it as a decimal, though, so we'll input it as 0.99, and then we'll go down to calculate. Just as a reminder, how do you actually get to this 1 prop z int? Remember, you use your second key and then your vars or distribution key. And then you have to go over to tests, and then you have to go all the way down to the 1 prop z int. Be careful not to do the 1 prop z test. But this is what it will look like when you go to input it into your calculator, and you type in your x, your n, and your confidence level, and again you'll go back down all the way to the bottom and select calculate. Then after pressing calculate and enter, what you'll come up with is the following output. And your confidence level, or your confidence interval, pops out right away. It is this 0.663, 0.73 if you round this 731. And so if we round it appropriately, we will get the following confidence interval, and that is your 99% confidence interval using your calculator. Again, this is just one way to do this. You can also do this by hand. Now let's look at making the same exact confidence interval by hand.